Therefore, when you read it, the stories really don't stick. You know what I'm saying? Now, how long you been reading? For a minute? All right. What story really sticks out to you in there? You know about when Joshua was leading them, the Israelites? Huh? You know, one of the things in there was when he was leading the nation of Israel to the promised land, that on the way there they had the battle, right? You remember that? They had to battle and fight other nations of people. And on the way to the promised land, that nation of people end up kicking ass. They end up whooping over 30 kingdoms. You ever read that in there? That's in the book of Joshua. You know what I'm saying? They knocked down over 30 kingdoms on the way to the promised land. So if you heard about a people that was whooping ass every time you turn around, majority of the time you'll fear them, wouldn't you? Or you'll be like, damn, I don't know, man. Everybody that stood up against them and got their ass kicked. Make you think twice about them, right? So if the people that went up against them could never beat these people, if they ever got an opportunity to try to destroy them, don't you think they would do that? Huh? Now, my point being, I asked you all them questions is because the Bible is actually written to one nation of people. This is our history book. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is our history book. But we don't look at it that way. We look at it as a book of myth or prophecy or just a book with wisdom in it. But it's all the above. It's actually our history book. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Show you something right quick.
All right.
Yeah, start there.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
This is Moses talking to the Israelites. Read.
That ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Talking about the commandments. Read.
For this is your wisdom.
This is our what?
This is your wisdom.
This is our wisdom, the commandments. Read.
And your understanding.
And our understanding. Read.
In the sight of the nations.
In the sight of the other nations.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation, is a wise and understanding people.
You see that? When we keep the commandments that he gave us to keep as a nation, we would be considered wise and understanding to everybody else in the world. Just like when we was whooping their ass on the way to the promised land, we was considered to be great, wise, and understanding, and everybody feared us. Read on.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great?
This is what the other nations saying. Read it again.
For what nation is there so great? Who have God so nigh unto them?
Who got God so near to them? Read.
As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
You see that? So the people will be looking at us saying, damn, that's a great and wise and understanding people when we keep the commandments. That's how we know and understand that this is our history book. Because we don't even know that we got laws, statutes, and commandments to follow. We don't even know we're a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was to ask you what's your nationality, what would you tell me? Huh? Mixed? With what? Huh? Indian and black. Now, when you read the scriptures, you're not mixed. You are what your father is. Let me get that in numbers. For instance, apple tree. If you take a seed from the apple and plant it in that grass over there, what's gonna grow up? Why not an orange? Alright, if I take that same apple seed and I plant it over there, what's gonna pop up? If I take it and put it in some dirt up the hill, what's gonna grow? Apple tree. So it wouldn't matter what type of soil I planted in. the same seed that's coming from the man is gonna grow up. And what I mean by that is the women are considered to be the soil. The man carries the seed. Think about that. Can a woman get pregnant by herself? Or does she need a seed? She needs a seed. So whatever that seed is, wherever that seed is coming from, that's what you would be considered to be. The world outside of this would tell you that you're mixed, you're biracial. Nah, it's whatever your father is, that's what you are. See that? Bring it out right quick.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
Read.
And they declared their pedigree.
Their what?
And they declared their pedigree.
Their bloodlines by what?
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers.
According to the number of the name from 20 years old and upward by their posts.
That's one thing that you get when you read the scriptures. You realize, damn, scriptures say they determine who they are by the house of their father. That's why you read in Adam begat so-and-so. Adam begat Seth. Seth begat Enoch. It ain't saying Eve gave birth to this. You see that? It say what the father begat. What the son came from the seed. You know what I'm saying? So that's letting you know when you say I'm biracial, that's null and void. You are what your father is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, when you say Indian and black, what you don't realize is we are the same people. We are all the same people. Check this out. This right here is what you would call one nation of people, which is built up of 12 tribes. 12 tribes of people make up one nation of people. You know what I'm saying? Which would be the nation of Israel. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. The Israelites, according to the Bible. Now, the question would be, why is it that you didn't know that? Why you didn't know that coming out the womb? Why you had to walk up today to hear anything about your ancestry? Even though everybody got a Bible, why is it that you didn't know today? Why is it we didn't know all our lives? Why is the majority of our people that's out here today don't know that they Israelites? You have any clue as to why you don't know? We're gonna show you. Give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna go to Deuteronomy right after that.
Okay.
Because these are the things that you won't hear about going to school. You ain't gonna even hear it in the church, where we all think we supposed to run to get spiritual guidance, advice, understanding. But we've been going to church for how long and still don't know who the people of the book are. We go to church and we don't know who we are. That makes no sense. We've been going all this time, still don't know who we are in the Bible. Because you ain't gonna read nowhere in the Bible African American, Native American Indian, Latino, Hispanic, so-called white man, Chinese man. You ain't gonna read none of that in the Bible. So we all reading it. We need to figure out, well, who are we according to the Bible? But we know, according to the curses, who we are as a people. And our people don't know who they are for this reason. Bring it up.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So what?
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Discontinue. You know what that word means? He said, thou shalt discontinue from your heritage. What does discontinue mean? Pause, stop. You right. Now what is a heritage? Your birthright. You on the right path. Read it again from the top.
Yes, sir. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
The Lord said, you're going to stop as a nation from your heritage that he gave us.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
So the reason we don't know who we are is because the Lord stripped us of our heritage. He took everything that made us great away from us. Think about that. How else could a people be moving around on this earth and not know who they are? Where's your homeland? Where's your homeland? Where we come from? That's where we were freed from. Moses freed us from Egypt. But where's our homeland? Where's the promised land? We get our Galatians 4:16.
All right.
4:26. Yeah, 4:26. Show you right quick where your homeland at. Galatians 4:26. Then I'm gonna get back to the topic about what your heritage actually consists of. What is a heritage? Bring it out.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above,
Which what?
But Jerusalem, which
But
is above,
Jerusalem. Keep that in mind, King. Jerusalem.
but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all. That's our motherland. Jerusalem. See that? That's straight in the scripture, though. The Israelites, we don't know that. Why we ain't in our land right now? We just read it because the Lord stripped us of our heritage. Now, when you think about a heritage, that's what makes us. That's who we are. When you think about a Chinese man, give me some characteristics about them. Do they have a certain type of food that they eat? Do we go to their restaurants? What kind of food they serve? Noodles, rice, egg roll. You see that? That's part of their heritage. What type of language do they speak? That's part of their heritage. Do they have a certain way that they look? Facial. So they got a different look about them, right? What about the way they dress? You see that? What I'm getting into is all of these different questions I was asking was showing you that they got different things that make up their heritage. When you say Chinese, Japanese, you know exactly where they people live at, where they come from. They come from China. They come from Japan. You go to Japan, they eat a certain type of food, sushi. They got samurais. You go to China, they eat a certain type of food. They speak a different type of language. They live a certain type of way. They got all these different customs that show you who they are. Now, when it comes down to us, we don't know where we come from. We don't have a particular type of language that we speak. We speak English. Everybody else over here speaking English. What is our original language? According to the Bible, it's Hebrew. Our homeland was Jerusalem. Now, the real question is, now why would the Lord strip us of our heritage? Why did he take us away from the things that we used to eat, the things that we used to celebrate, the way that we treated each other? Why did he strip us of our fame and glory? Why did he do these things? These are the questions we got to ask. Why is it every time you turn on the news, when we turn on the news, we seeing our people getting gunned down, shot down, shooting each other, killing each other, filling the prison cell? Why is that always happening with us every time you turn on the news? Why the dad ain't in the household, guiding and leading his household? Why is there so many single parent households in our nation of people? Why is it that we ain't got no businesses that I can go to in Alabama and go to that same business in California? Or go to that business in California and go to New York and go to it. But I can go to everybody else's business internationally and anywhere in the States. I can go to McDonald's anywhere in the world. We don't own that. I can go to Walmart anywhere in the United States. We don't own that. Sonic, Wendy's, Burger King, we don't own it. Kroger's, Publix, we don't own them. Hanes, Nikes, we don't own none of that. What business do we have that's worldwide known? These are the questions we got to ask. Because our heritage has been stripped from us. The only thing we known for is eating chicken and watermelon, killing each other, getting high, playing sports, and rapping. And entertaining everybody. Think about that. Where we at on an international scale? We still waiting on somebody else to give it to us. Nobody's coming to us saying, hey, can I borrow some money? I need $100,000 so I can start my business. So I can buy me a house. None of that. We going to them. Why? Because the Lord stripped our heritage from us. And it's a reason for that. Let me get Deuteronomy right quick. Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to show you exactly why. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy
He
God,
said, if we will not hearken, meaning listen to the what?
to the voice of the Lord thy God,
If we don't listen to the voice,
to observe, to do all his commandments,
to do what?
to do all his commandments,
To do all his commandments. Read.
and statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses
what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, every time you turn on the news and see your people getting gunned down, is that a blessing or a curse? When you see your people living in the hoods and projects, ghettos all over the world, is that a blessing or is that a curse? When your folks struggling just to keep their head above water, is that a blessing or a curse? If you seeing them in your past history, tests, class, books, museums, seeing your people being hung, burned alive, is that a blessing or is that a curse? These are curses put on us by the Most High God. Think about that. Read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So what?
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Cursed shall we be in the city. Any city you go to in the world, these people who have been scattered all around the world gonna be living in the worst conditions. The so-called Native American Indians, they living on reservations right now. What's going on, King? Where they ain't getting the proper things that they need. They getting the bare minimum or the bottom education, just like we get the worst of the education. We don't learn nothing about who we are as a people before the slave ship. All we know is civil rights. That's all we know. We don't know who we were before the slave ship. The Bible actually speaks on it though. You know, history, when you do real research, you start to find and realize that the Bible actually speaks about it. And that the history is true about who we were before the scriptures. I mean, before the slave ship. Excuse me. But it said cursed in the city. And what?
Cursed shall thou be, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And cursed shall we be in the field. We were the only one forced to work in them tobacco fields, cotton fields, sugar cane fields. We were the only ones in there in them fields getting our backs beat and ain't get paid for it.
Right.
Think about that. That only happened to one nation of people. One nation of people. It didn't happen to the so-called white man. He was the one with the whip. He was the one who owned the ship that put us on the bottom of it. Cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Think about that. Curses. Give me verse 64.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee. And the Lord shall scatter thee amongst all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods.
Shall what?
Shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So our people would be scattered around the world into every nation. How you think we got scattered all around the world? On that slave ship. And the thing that they call the transatlantic slave trade. You can look that up. I know you done heard about that. Before that, they had the sub-Saharan slave trade. That's how they was pushing our people all around the world. Slavery, that's a curse that the Lord put on us for not keeping his commandments. See that? But these are the things, this is the history. How you doing, King? This is the stuff that our people don't know. They don't teach. Therefore, we walk around blind to the fact as to what's really going on. And it's right there in everybody's house, on everybody's table, in every building, every church, school. This book, the truth is right there. But we don't open it, we don't read it, and when we do read, we don't even realize who the audience is. Because if you knew who it was written to, now it takes on a whole different meaning. Now you know it's written to you and your people. Now you can start seeing the things that's written in them. when he say, hey, I'm going to put you on them slave ships. Read verse 68 right quick. Just
the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now the word Egypt means house of bondage. So that's slavery. He said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt. I'm going to bring you back into slavery. With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now you say you read the Bible before, right? How did what did Moses do with the Israelites when he freed them? Did they get on the ship? Or did they walk through the Red Sea? They walked through it, right? Exactly. So the Lord said, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to do what? Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. This time we going back into slavery with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We ain't going to see our homeland no more. What's our homeland? All praise the brother listening. Brother listening. So we ain't going to be able to see Jerusalem no more. Read.
And there
where we get off the slave ship, what?
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You shall what?
Be sold unto your enemies.
So we got off them ships. They put us on them auction blocks. The Lord said we would be sold to who?
Shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto who?
Unto your enemies.
You see that, bro? It says sold to our enemies, not our friends. Our enemies. Because if I was your friend, would I sell you into slavery? If I was truly your friend, would I sell you into slavery? Would I be raping your people and selling them to this family, to that family, destroy your family to sell them off? No. The Lord said they're your enemies. Read.
Sold unto your enemy for bond men,
slave men,
and bond women,
slave women,
and no man shall buy you.
No man gonna be able to buy you out of this. As a nation of people, ain't nobody gonna be able to save you out of this but the Lord. Why did he do these things? Because we broke his commandments. Give me Daniel 9:12 right quick. It ain't happening to nobody else, King. That's how we know who we are. Through the curses. Through the curses. When you ever seen it happen to anybody else? Think about that. Think about that. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It's still going on today. And even though it went on in history, in times of old, it only happened to us. Think about that. Read that.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he hath spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
A great evil, them curses. Read.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
Everything that happened to us, it only gonna happen to us. All the things and the atrocities that we went through, it ain't happening to nobody else but the Israelites. Jerusalem. That's our homeland. It ain't happening to nobody else. They got museums set up all over the world showing this exact atrocity, slavery, captivity, being burned alive. Museum right here in Birmingham, Mobile, Montgomery. They got museums set up all over the world. Go to Brazil, go to Africa. They got museums everywhere. Virginia, Baltimore, showing what they did to it. They gave you a whole month to show you what they did to you. Black History Month. Why they ain't got a Chinese month? Why they ain't got an East Indian month? These are the things we got to ask ourselves. Why is this happening? Keep reading on it.
Verse 13. As it is written in the law of Moses.
As it is written. As we read in Deuteronomy 28. Read.
All this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth.
You see that? All that was already written in the beginning of the Bible. but we ain't making our prayers to turn away from it. For one, we don't even know how to pray. We don't even know that that's written in now. We don't even know we are people. We don't even know that we cursed. So if we don't know all those different things, how in the hell we gonna make prayer to say, Lord, hey, turn our captivity? We don't know these things because we don't read. And then when we do go to church, they tell us, hey, we in the New Testament now. Don't read the Old. If you don't read the beginning of the book, how you gonna know what's going on at the end? That's why we gotta come back to who we are, King.
That's right.
Do you understand that you royalty?
Yeah.
Let me show you right quick. Give me Exodus 19:6. You got to realize you royalty. Our people have to stand back up. That's why we out here today on the highways and byways, raising our people back up. Bring it out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
A what?
A kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of priests. Read.
And a holy nation.
And a holy nation. What that word holy mean, King? What does holy mean?
Sacred, right?
Exactly. Separate. Special. He said you're going to be a holy nation, a special nation unto me. Was that it on that?
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
These are the words we supposed to be hearing day in and day out. Now, what's up, my nigga? Now, what's up, big dog? You supposed to be saying, what's up, king? Priest? That's how we supposed to be greeting each other with respect, with honor. But we have lost our way. The Lord stripped us of our heritage. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. And it reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Be holy unto the Lord. Read.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee to
He what?
Had chosen thee.
He chose us. We didn't choose him. He chose us. Out of all the people, now you might be thinking in your head, well, he created all people. What makes us special? You just heard it. Read it from the top.
For thou art an holy people. The Lord thy God. Excuse me, I'm starting up. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are above all people.
He chose us and set us up here. Said we above all people, read.
That are upon the face of the earth.
That are all walking around on this earth right now. He chose one nation to be above everybody. But at the same time, he said, keep my commandments and I'll put you above everybody. But when you break them, I'm going to bring you down low. Think about that. I chose you to be great. But all you got to do is do what I tell you to do, and you'll be great. But when you rebel against me, I'm going to bring you down low. And I'm going to take the bottom people, who at the bottom, who are the base, I'm going to bring them and put them over you. And you're going to have to serve your enemies. You see that? We don't even know we got enemies today. We think the only people that's our enemies is those that's trying to rob us. But when you actually sit down and think about what's really going on in this world right now, think about what type of music you listen to. Okay. What about rap music?
Sometimes.
All right. Now, is rap music positive for the most part? Majority is negative, right? What did it teach you to do? Huh? Sleep with women, smoke, get high, kill each other. Majority of our music is degrading. Now, when you turn around, you listen to rock and roll or what's some other genres? Huh? Jazz, R&B. Do they teach you, when you listen to the other nation's music, you listen to country, rock and roll, Asian music, do they tell or sing music that degrades or talk down on their people? Huh? No. But when you turn on our music, which is controlled by the other nations, it tells us to kill each other.
Sleep with each other wives.
Exactly. Tell the women, hey, they can be independent women. So the music that is put in place for us to listen to is put in place to destroy us. Think about that. That's part of how they destroy us. Showing you that they're your enemy without telling you that. They give pick a rapper, bring him out the hood, sit him on a platform, give him all these millions of dollars. And we sitting back watching him as little kids growing up. We see he got the different color hair. He got tattoos all over his face, his neck, his body. You know what I'm saying? He got all the chains. He got the nice cars. He got all the women. So naturally, we looking at that and we want that. But you don't see that with the other nations. You're not going to see so-called white man walking around with a bunch of diamonds and all this and rings and pockets full of money in his songs. You ain't going to see the so-called Chinese man or the Japanese man doing that.
They'll be billionaires looking like they
work at Walmart or something. You ain't going to know. But I say all these things to show you that these other nations are crafty with their counsel on how they show us to be their enemy or show us that they are our enemies. They ain't got to come up and put a gun in your head to kill you. They can set up a McDonald's in your neighborhood and say you nothing but swine. Do you know we ain't supposed to eat that? You know that? How you know that?
It's written in the Bible.
It is.
Unclean animals.
All praises, King. All praises. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to eat that. What about shrimp, crab, lobster? I'm going to show you. That's in there as well. Bring it out. Leviticus chapter 11.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
Pig, the pork, read.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
You already knew that. That's a commandment from the Most High God for his people. We are not supposed to eat this. Well, yet and still, like I said earlier, your enemies will show you that they are your enemies by what they sell you. If I know that this is going to kill you, why would I sell it to you?
Right.
If I know God does not want you to eat it, why would I sell it to you?
Right.
But every restaurant that you can go into or grocery store, you can find all of these products that the Lord told you not to eat. You go to that McDonald's I was talking about, they're going to have that 2 for 2. Sausage, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Sausage, egg, McGriddle. 2 for 2. They're going to have that in the hood. They're going to have it in our neighborhoods to feed it to us. Think about that. Read on.
Of verse 8. Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch.
He said we ain't supposed to eat it.
They are
no pepperoni pieces, no bacon, no ham, no pork chop.
Bring it out.
We ain't supposed to eat these things. We are not supposed to eat these things, but we go to church and they actually feed it to us at the church.
At the church.
And then tell us God's laws are done away with. But you wonder why people keep dying younger and younger and younger. Why people 20 and 30 years old having heart attacks? Because they eating the wrong damn food. Read on.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Now we talking about the things coming out the water where we can eat. Read.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So what two characteristics the fish got to have, or the food coming out of the water got to have, King? Read it one more time for him.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the water.
Have what?
Fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So what it got to have if it come out the water for us to eat, King?
Fins and scales.
Fins and scales. Think about that. Fins and scales. Catfish ain't got it. He got fins, ain't got no scales. Catfish is a bottom feeder. Just like shrimp, crab, and lobster. I mean, shrimp, crab, lobster. They are all bottom feeders. They don't have both of those attributes. So we are not supposed to eat them. All of these things are bottom feeders. Just like the pig is damn near a bottom feeder that walks around on land. It'll eat anything. You fall off in a pigsty, they'll eat you.
That's right.
Think about it. You fall next to a cow, you'll step over you. If you jump in a lake, they got clean fish in it, you can swim in there with it. Think about that. You see that? So you learned something today, King. If you ain't learned nothing else, you learned that your people are not supposed to eat abominable foods. When we eat the wrong food, that's the thing that's killing us, giving us high blood pressure. How you doing, sis? Can I ask you a question? Are we supposed to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster?
I don't eat lobster. I don't eat shrimp. I don't eat seafood. So.
All praise. Let me give you a fly.
I don't eat seafood. So.
What about pig?
Huh?
What about swine, pork?
Not very much.
Do you know we're not supposed to eat it?
Too, man.
Huh?
Do you know that the Bible actually said that we're not supposed to eat it?
Well, I don't eat a lot of meat, period. I do eat some, but I don't eat a lot of meat.
Let me show you right quick how the Bible, the Lord said that we, his people, his chosen people, are not supposed to eat this. And when we eat it, we actually defile our temples. And that's why we as a people be having so many different diseases, and why we actually die younger and younger, because we eat the foods that we are not supposed to. Bring it out right quick.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
The pig, the pork, read.
Though he divide the hoof. And be cloven-footed.
He got attributes just like a clean animal, like a deer in his feet. Like that, read.
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He cheweth not the cud. A cow actually chews the cud, where he chews the food multiple times. He got more than one stomach. Read.
He is unclean to you.
The pig is what?
He is unclean to you.
The Lord said he is unclean. Read.
Verse 8. Of their flesh ye shall not eat.
Of what?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
You see, this ain't being taught to us. And that's why we end up with so many problems as a people. Young and old. We have so many problems because we ain't being taught these things. This is the number one thing that's killing us. One of the main. And this is something that they don't teach us in the church. And that's actually written in the Bible. We ain't supposed to eat that. You know, you say you done ate it before, I ate it before. One of the things about pig, you say bacon, for instance. When you cook bacon, do you have to put salt on it? You don't. Why do you think that is?
It's already in there.
Why is that?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because a pig does not sweat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You see that?
Yeah.
So when you sweat, what's coming out your body? Your toxins.
Yeah.
You flushing out your pores.
Yeah.
If the pig does not flush out his pores, that means all of those different salts and toxins are locked in his body. So when they cook it, all of those toxins are still locked in their body. That's why you don't have to season it when you put it in the pan. So then our people end up with all type of high blood pressure, gout, high cholesterol, heart disease, heart attacks, because this is killing us. This is the wrong fuel. You right. This is just one main thing though.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many different things you can get from the pig. Bacon, ham, pork chop, pepperoni, baby back ribs, you know, sausage. All of these different things come from this pig. You got your chitlins, which I can't believe I used to eat that. You know.
I don't eat none of that though. Hey.
The Lord said we ain't supposed to eat it. Read on though.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and the carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
They unclean.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the water.
The thing that are in the water. Read.
Wheresoever have fins and scales in the water, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So in order for us to eat anything that comes out of the water, the Lord said they got to have scales and fins.
I don't eat seafood.
You don't eat fish?
I don't care for fish. I don't care for most beef, pork. I don't care for. I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm not a real meat eater. And if I eat some meat, I just eat one piece and I'm done.
I don't blame you, because even that's defiled. But what I was going to show you was the Lord said if anything that come out of the water, because it's bigger than just you. Our people need to know these things. Our people are not being taught, thus saith the Lord. So we'll go and eat shrimp, crab, and lobster thinking we doing something big. But we don't even realize that's a commandment. He said don't eat these things. And when we eat them, we eat exactly what they eat. They eat the trash of the sea or the water. They eat the dead bodies. Anything that's dead in the water, they go eat that. So we turn around and we put it in ourselves. And then we destroy and defile our temple. And then we wonder why. How is it Jimmy ain't number 25? He in the hospital and had a heart attack. He been eating the wrong food, putting the wrong fuel in his body. Now, I use this example a bit. If you put diesel in a car, what is it going to do to the engine?
Oh, I don't know. I put 87 in.
But if you put diesel in, it's going to destroy the engine because it's not made for it.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? You're putting the wrong fuel in the system, and you wonder why the car breaks down. Same thing with the food we put in our body. So we got to line it up to what the Lord said we can and cannot eat so we can make the best decision. And that's what us as a nation of people are supposed to be eating or making our decisions based on the commandments of God. Because we are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's
God's
right.
chosen people, a special people.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard that before? Let me give you a flyer right quick.
Yeah.
You heard of it?
I've been very active in my church for over 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you know that we got a dietary law.
Oh, I already knew that though.
Right. Do you teach it?
Huh?
Do you teach it to your family members and your church members?
I have to. My kids are grown now.
Yeah, that don't mean that.
Oh, no. But I can only tell them and they gonna do what they want to do.
But when you was raising them, you said you was in church for how long?
Since 1980.
Well, did you raise them to know that?
Oh.
And I only say that because it's never too late. And especially when it comes from mama, it means a lot. So if you find out new information that's gonna help save their life to help raise the grandkids with, spread that information.
But no, I do talk to them and I'll let them know this.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate you stopping by, sis. Have a good one.